Before I go, I want to leave the Nigeria Suicide Prevention Helpline. If you have your phones, you can bring it out and copy and save in case you may need it to talk to somebody or you have friends that you want to recommend to get help there. So the numbers are 090 99 91 64 63. Again, 090 99 91 64 63. Happy International Youth Day. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. A round of applause. Thank you so much. And I'd like to invite very quickly Barrister Victor I. Okoye to set the tone on what the Nigerian laws says about cybercrime. Barrister Victor I. Okoye, are you here? Please, a round of applause for Barrister Victor as he comes to talk very briefly, very quickly, then we continue in the dialogue.
The youth-friendly Inspector General of Police, the Honorable Minister of the FCT, ably represented, senior police officers here present, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. This afternoon, we are to discuss a very simple concept of cybercrime and the law, prosecuting digital offenses and protecting Nigeria. We live in an era of voracious and avid quest for knowledge, and the internet has become a veritable and nifty tool for that knowledge. Everybody here, we have our phones. If there is anything you need to research on now, you can just open your phone and get information on it. But one thing we've come to realize is that it is on the internet does not mean that it is correct. That is on the internet does not mean that it is accurate. That is on the internet does not mean that it has been verified. Am I talking to somebody here? So the fact that we see things, we get communication, we get many things from the internet does not mean that we should just take in everything we see on the internet. In fact, the internet, being what it is today, has given birth to what we call a hydra-headed monster of what we call cybercrime offenses. Cybercrime offenses are offenses that are committed on the internet with the aid of digital devices. This device, unlike the conventional or what we call traditional offenses that has location, cybercrime does not have a physical location. It is called, that is why it is investigated and prosecuted with digital, what we call digital footprints. There is no physical location for cybercrime offenses. And that is where some of us miss it, because sometimes you have that brother or that friend that doesn't go out. He doesn't leave his house. And one day police pays a friendly visit to that person. You know the type of friendly visit I mean. The person is arrested. And you are saying that this man doesn't even leave his house. How is that possible that he committed this and committed that? But because internet has made everything simple, it has also made the commission of offenses what? Simple. People can be in the comfort of their rooms and commit offenses on the internet. People they don't need to go out. You don't need to see them going out and coming in to commit offenses. And sometimes they now say that police arrested them because they are having a dreadlock or because of the car they drive. But sometimes you don't understand the intricacies. Cybercrime offenses are investigated and prosecuted with what we call digital footprints. They are the things that we follow in investigating and prosecuting cybercrime offenses. And thank God we have a law in Nigeria that criminalizes these offenses. And that is what we call the Cybercrime Prohibition, Prevention, etc. Act 2015, amended in 2024. Unfortunately, even that act has even undergone, is also a victim of cybercrime activity. What do I mean? Everywhere on the media, you see an act circulating. It's even circulating more than the authentic one. They call it Cybercrime Act 2025. And I've been telling people, there is nothing like Cybercrimes Act 2025. In fact, the people that perpetrated this thing, we are very ingenious in that they went ahead, created offenses, very interesting offenses. that if you're making a call and recording you from the others is an offense, punishable under this and that, with so and so. There is no law, if not for any other thing, take note that there is nothing like Cybercrime Prohibition Act 2025. It is everywhere on the media. I've been seeing it. There is no law like that. We have Cybercrimes Act, Cybercrime Prohibition Preventions Act 2015, amended when? 2024. Please kindly take note of that. In the era that we are as a country, there are so many things, and as young people, there are so many things you must watch out. As I'm talking about digital footprints, what it means is that you can be in Abuja and they are looking for you in Anambra or any other place for an offense you committed. In fact, somebody can be in Nigeria and commit an offense in the US, United States, or any other country of the world. And that is why you have to be very careful. You have to be very careful how you operate on the internet, what you do with your gadgets, and what you handle or transact with people on the internet. For instance, some of us here can be very reckless. You can buy a second-hand phone or get a SIM card that has been pre-registered, or do things that you don't know the implication of those things you are doing. Because when these investigations are going on, there are any SIM card that has been pre-recorded could have a history you cannot defend. And any phone you use and give to another person could have a future you cannot defend. Because if the SIM card has been recorded and given to you, you don't know what they have done with that SIM card. And when it is given to you and an offense is being investigated that was committed with that SIM card, it will be traced to you that is with that SIM card at the time. And you will now have the onerous task of wriggling out of that offense because you are the person seen with what? That SIM card. If you take a phone that probably has been registered, after using a phone, you did not format the phone and you give it to someone, and your details are still imprinted in that phone as the person that registered the phone. And tomorrow, the phone is used to commit an offense. When investigation is ongoing, the digital footprint will be pointing to who? You, as the person that registered that phone originally. These things are what we call digital footprints. You have to be very careful what you do on the internet, where you go on the internet, the things you transact on the internet. The Cybercrime Act provides for several offenses, the most popularly talked about being the cyber stalking offense. Many of my friends in the legal profession has taken the position that there shouldn't be anything like cyber stalking, that there is freedom of speech. But I've always told them that even though speech is free, but when it has expensive consequence, you are meant to pay for it. In as much as you are free to say what you want to say, but when that thing you are saying has expensive consequence, and it is interesting to see that some of those my friends who take this position that there shouldn't be anything like cyber stalking, over the time the same offense, and you hear them saying things like, I will report you to the police. I don't used to do this, but I will report you to the police. That means it is actually something that actually gets to people when you go to the media to publish things that are false, misrepresented, capable of causing breach of peace, and sometimes threats to the life of the person you are talking about. So it is interesting to know that Section 24 of the Cybercrimes Act provides for what? Cyber stalking. Any publication you are making on the media is a country. All the time somebody went to the media and published a voice note purportedly made by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, when it is false. And these things have the tendency of causing what? Breakdown of law and order. So you don't just share something, it is no defense that you only shared it, because the law is very categorical. Anybody who publishes or causes to be published. So it's not enough that somebody published it and you just share this. The fact that you fail to verify it before sharing it can make you what? Culpable. In 2025, the legal department of the Nigerian Police Force National Cybercrime Center also secured the conviction of a certain young man, Aduna Adewale, who came online, woke up one morning and took his phone and said that the then sitting IG has been arrested. And that was it. He was arraigned before the Federal High Court, and after the section, he was convicted. And there are so many other cases of people coming to the media to say things that they don't have verifiable facts about. Just like what the Honorable Distinguished Inspector General of Police told us about here, that the video circulating about his marriage was made 2 years ago. But the person fronting that video is giving the impression that it was made recently. And that is it about the media. Things you see on the media does not necessarily look the way you see them. And people are exploiting people's emotion. There are people you see on the media and you perceive that these ones are the ones that tell us the truth, that these ones are the ones that tell us what is correct. But unless it is verified, you can never know who is lying and who is saying the truth. So it is very, very important that as you are using the media, whether for trial or for whatever, in fact, it is so serious that you can even commit terrorism from the confines of your room. Section 18 of the Cyber Crimes Act. If you publish things that have the trappings of terrorism, treason, sometime in 2023 or thereabout, a young man was charged at the Federal High Court. What was his offense? The young man came to the media and someone asked a simple question. $1 million hits your account now, what will you do? Everybody was saying, buy a house, marry, do this, do that. The young man responded, hire Russian assassins to kill Buhari and Abba Kyari. That is the then president and his chief of staff. And that young man was arrested and investigated. And in the course of going through his activities on the media, there was also another place where the young man said something very indicting. He said that Donald Trump should come to Nigeria and bomb northern Nigeria. Such comments are inflammatory. You may not know the implication of those things you're saying, but one day, monkey may go market, go return. It is very, very important that you pay attention to the things you do on the media, the conversations you have on the media, because what is terrorism? What is treason? Treason extends to inviting the president of another country to come and live here. So when you pick up your phone and on the confines of your bed, you type that President Dish should come to Nigeria and do this and that, you may be committing treason and terrorism. And provided your actions aligns with the law, you are indictable. It doesn't matter whether you carried gun or whether you entered bush or not. Sometimes some of us don't understand these intricacies of the law. That is why they say that the law is an ass. It is about what is on the books. It doesn't matter what is true or what is not true. What is on the books? And that is it about your digital footprints. Once your activities is aligned with any offense that is already established in the law. So that is why it is very, very essential and necessary that before you post anything on the internet, before you publish anything on the internet, you have to be very, very careful. We have also cyber squatting, cyber terrorism, cyber identity theft or impersonation. This season, many things will be going on the internet. We'll be saying so many things that even cyber fraud, of the Cyber Crimes Act, that they are sharing money. So and so person is sharing money for people that will vote for him. Please subscribe. Click this link. That's why we keep insisting that you verify. Think before you click. That is our slogan. Please, can you tell your neighbor, think before you click? That so and so politician is going to share 50,000. Click on this link and follow and get to the point. And you're always in a hurry to click. Many of these things are fraud. Sometimes people call you on phone that they are from so and so place, they are so and so place, there will be so and so meeting. All these things are things you must watch out for in the season that we are in. Most importantly, we are Nigerians. Election season is not a time to divide us. It is a point where we need to progress as a nation. So don't allow yourself to be a tool in the hands of people that want destabilization. Don't state or post things that you cannot verify. Don't say things, don't add to what is true. Immediately you add to what is true, it is no longer truth. Am I correct? What is poison? But poison is not that when you get a full pot of food and put just a little poison, can it kill anyone? Yes, it becomes poisonous. The whole pot of food becomes poisonous. So if you publish a news that could be partly true and partly false, you are already committing an offense that you know nothing about. So it is very, very important that we understand that cybercrime has become one of the most commonly committed offenses. And if you are not careful, if you allow yourself to fall prey, you'll be intractably marooned in the vortex of criminality without knowing. And just like the IGP stated, if you are in prison wasting your life 3 years, 5 years, the tendency of you being a great adult will no longer be there. It has been eroded. It has been shortened. So why will you allow, because of what of anything, for you to become a tool to cyberstall, to commit any of these offenses in the Cyber Crimes Prohibition Act? We also have forgery. AI has enhanced the tendency of forgery and the gravity of forgery. People can create pictures, create images, create so many things. that looks genuine or authentic. Don't be in a hurry. Don't be that person that is always fast to click share. Because once you share it, once you publish it, you are indictable. No, it is no defense that somebody published it before you. Once you have shared the thing in question, you have committed the offense and you will go in for it. So I wish to adjourn every young person here. One, you can even care to get the Cybercrimes Prohibition Prevention Act 2015 amended in 2024. You can get the act and get yourself acquainted with the offenses provided therein. And secondly, practice internet hygiene. Don't click on every link. Don't join any group. Don't join. There are some WhatsApp that their own name, they are indicted. When you read the name itself, you should be comfortable as a good Nigerian. If you read the agenda of the group, you should be wise enough to exit that group. There are so many things you should see on the internet. They are sharing money, all the Ponzi scheme and whatever. There are so many things on the internet that you see. As a responsible Nigerian, you know you have no place here. So I want to encourage every young person here that this meeting is a timely one for us to talk to ourselves as youth, because I must say, if the IGP is still a youth, how much more me? So how much less myself? So I want to encourage us that it is time for us to talk to ourselves, that the internet is meant to help us and not to make us susceptible or to become perpetrators of crime. The word is that you should be discreet enough not to be a victim, and you should be patriotic and responsible to be a perpetrator. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Barrister. Thank you. Please, Barrister, at this point, you will not be going to the back. The organizers will give you a seat somewhere in front. And then please, our first speaker would also need you to come close to the front, as we're going to be engaging the youths and every other person in the hall. We're going to be taking questions, and if we have room for contribution, we'll do that. But I stand to be corrected. I have been corrected by the Inspector General himself that one of our key focus area is actually life after adulthood. Real estate as pathway to youth empowerment. Real estate as pathway to youth empowerment. So please, on your own, help me strike out the get rich quick on that, what was it called, that we have written. Real estate as pathway to youth empowerment. We will have, of course, another set of panelists to address or discuss these few topics. But for this that has been addressed, please, Barrister, there's a seat in front without a tag. Please sit close to the NANS chairman. Please, where's our first speaker? We would also need you in front, as I'll be going around now. Please, if you have questions as regards the topic, if you have questions, if you have issues that you need clarification on, please, it's time. You have the platform now to ask the IG himself. Please, by show of hands, let's give ourselves numbers. By show of hands, so that we would know how many questions we are taking. Please raise your hands. Nobody should bring up questions again after these numbers, please. Okay, so this is the point where my work will start. Please, mic 2 is already there. We need a mic from the back, please. So show of hands, we have, so this hand is new. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Sir, we have 15 persons that have indicated. Do we have the capacity to take them all? Okay. Thank you so much, sir. The IG himself says we have the capacity to take questions. The 15 questions. Please, I beg you, please. Just introduce yourself and go straight to your question. Please, just go straight to your questions. This is time for questions, not contributions, please. Please, leave example out of your questions. Just go straight to the question for want of time. Thank you so much. Okay, I think I'll be coming this way.
My name is Dr. Barrister Gostan Okafor. I am the National Vice Chairman, PCROC Southeast Zone. And before I became the National Vice Chairman, I was the National Legal Advisor, National PCROC. I want to use this medium to commend the IGP for this initiative. We in PCROC, we are very, very grateful. Before asking my question, I want to let our youth to know this, because one of the cardinal principles of PCROC is to bridge the gap between the police and the community. Before the formation of PCROC, there was a morbid fear of the community about the Nigerian police. They saw the police as their enemies. They saw the police as no-go area. That is why PCROC come in to bridge that gap, which we have successfully done. Now, the youth and also the community, they always feel that if you give the police information, it's not safe. I want to use this medium to dispel that erroneous impression. The police is our friends. You give them information. And when anybody is apprehended by the police, you should know a bailable offense and non-bailable offense. If the offense you have committed is bailable, the simple thing you do is to call a surety, a person that will take you on bail. Once the person surfaces on your behalf, the police will listen to him and grant you bail. If it's not a bailable offense, they will tell you a surety that you'll be charged to court. It's not a bailable offense. It is only court that will grant you bail. Now, the Inspector General of Police said something that touched me personally, that you have to guide your life jealously to become an adult. That means consciousness. You have to be conscious of your activities, conscious of your action. When I was in secondary school, I read a magazine.
Thank you very much, sir. For want of time, please. We want questions. We still have another panel session that will address this topic, sir. Thank you so much for your time. We're grateful. Thank you. Please, the next person. Please, questions for now, please. We have another session where we'll take contributions. Please, questions as regards the topics that have been addressed by the three persons. What if your topic is for the next panel session? You know, we have another session after now.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Yusuf Isaiah Komotosho by name. Please, for the barrister, please, I have a request for you, sir. Please, how can we get the Cybersecurity Act of 2024 that is being amended in 2024? And how can we propagate these, mostly during this election era? Because most of our people out there, let's say most of our youths, okay, it's being passed, but we don't read more. Please, how can you propagate this more? And secondly, to our IGP, sir, in a developed country, whenever you post a threatening message or a message that is out of place, you will be called by the security team. But what are we doing in related to that in Nigeria, sir? And I believe your office has the capacity to do that because your era is totally different from what I have been witnessing before. You are a youth-friendly IGP, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Let's be precise and stay on the question, please. Okay, the numbers. Please help me pass the microphone.
Good afternoon, everybody. My question is directed to the IG. My name is Obidiwe Stephanie from Rotary. I have 3 questions for you, sir. The first one, young Nigerians still feel unsafe around posts. Everybody here would agree. I'm using the NSAS as a case study. What are two specific reforms that the Office of the IGP this year specifically that can identify these issues? Now, and for officers caught in extortion or unlawful detention, what is the average time between a complaint and also a sanction? That's my first question. The second one, millions of Nigerians are building career tech. There was a speaker that spoke about tech here. So a lot of Nigerians are building careers in tech and online businesses. So how is the Nigerian police force drawing a clear line between legitimate work or legitimate digital skills and cyber crimes? So now, how do they also stop criminalizing the use of laptop and dreadlocks, and also tagging them as cybercrime people? Sorry, what's the name? Hackers or something. Your Yahoo, yes, that's the word. Yahoo, and thugs. Now, what's the role? And what role will young people have in shaping police in the next 12 months? That's my second. Many families of victims of police violence say that they never get justice, or they never even hear anything after complaint has been made. Now, my question is, will the IGP commit to creating a public board that every case of alleged police violence, so especially the youth, see the justice is actually...
She didn't just give us 3 questions. Our question number 1 had I, and I. Please, you have the floor. The next questions. Thank you. Please, your name and straight.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Emeka Promise, known as Mark on Twitter. So my question is, well, first of all, before I ask this question, please just 30 seconds. Abuja Police on their efforts to curb crimes across Southeast. I mean, they have done a lot of job.
Thank you very much. Can we pass the microphone to the next person?
Now, my first question is, I have only one question. I know that the primary of the program is to build trust. What I really mean to it, to build trust amongst Nigerian youth and the Nigerian police. Now, under this leadership of IGP, they have constantly said, maintain that, say something whenever you see something. Now, I'm asking, we have had a case whereby Nigerian youth will give some information about crimes being committed by other people, by some group of individuals. Those people that brought that information, we are left on their own. There is no system to protect them. I want IGP, sir, to give us concrete and specific reform that you are going to introduce and assure Nigerian youth that you are going to introduce a reform that will protect anybody or any Nigerians who are willing to bring information to partner with Nigerian police to curb crimes around their areas.
Thank you very much. Please pass the microphone. Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, the Inspector General of Police and everybody seated in the hall. My name is Olagunjo Adebola. I have 3 questions, but I think 2 had already been asked. The third one, I sincerely want to appreciate the IGP 2 years. I see the things you've been doing as your daughter Calling you my father, I am a barrack
Can
child.
please go
Hold on.
straight
And
to
I
the
have
question.
seen so many things you've been doing. I grew up in the barracks. That's the reason why I'm asking this question. I met you once online on air. I'll talk about that. Sir, I want to ask a very serious question concerning the Nigerian police itself as an organization. I have sisters that are still working. My dad is a retired police officer. If by the standard of the United Nations, I understand that one police officer is meant to protect at least 400 nationals. What is this notable organization doing to protect that police? How are they being equipped? Because it is a general knowledge. We all know that our police officers are not well equipped. I know you are trying, sir, but what is the plan of the Nigerian police, especially towards this forthcoming general election?
Please, can we confirm again this standard of United Nations, one police to 400 Nigerians? That's not true. I don't want to agree on that. That's not true. I think you should do your findings again. 400 to one police? No, now.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Oyedeji Oluwaboluwatife. I have two questions. So my first question goes thus. What are the major factors that pushes young people into cybercrime? And how do we address those root causes rather than punishing the offenders? My second question. How do we distinguish between teaching young people cybersecurity skills and accidentally exposing them to that, and exposing them to how they could be misused for cybercrime?
Thank you. These are critical, very critical questions coming up now. Thank you. Is your name and straight to the question?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Gracious. My question is, sir, I want to know, as a young Nigerian interested in technology and AI, if young people develop innovative technological solutions for security problems in Nigeria, are there any existing pathways for them to show or present these ideas directly to the Nigerian police force and possibly have them implemented? Good morning, everyone. My name is Okoro. And help young citizens of Nigeria that can reduce.
Use the microphone, please. Bring it close to your mouth.
That can reduce suicide in Nigeria, because there are some
Please, can you recap your question again?
Is there any platform in Nigeria for young citizens of Nigeria that can reduce suicidal missions? Because there are some platforms that are not trusted. If you tell them about like your problem or being depressed, they will say it to the world. So people don't like saying yes.
Okay, the question is, what is the recognized platform? Yes, thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Matthew Collins. So my question is, how do you handle cases about encryption, and what tools or techniques do you use to decrypt data? And to the professional side, where do we get these professionals? Like we here now, we got the numbers. But what about people that are not here? How do they get that number?
Yes, and after him, we'll have one last person here, right?
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, IG. My name is Comrade Frank Edekris. I have a question to ask. I want to know if there is any reform structure in place that can regulate the dissemination of information aside coming to the public. Like for the public now, we have to control it. We have to know what, we have to think before we click. But is there anything on the side of the police that can also, manage and regulate how informations are being disseminated? That's number one. Then the second question I have to ask is, there's this general notion that says, police is your friend. And election is very much by the corner. And they say when you see something, say something. And it is one thing to know what to say, and it's another thing to know the right time to say it. Is there anything that can be done by both and the police force to ensure that there is free expression of information, and then the person who is giving out that information, his own personal human right is being safeguarded? Thank you.
Thank you. Please pass the microphone. There's a last question. A student here before the last person. Yeah.
My name is Abdulkader Abdullahi. My question is, what is the common type of cybersecurity and how can we address it? Thank you.
Sorry, can you say that again?
What are the common types of cybersecurity threats and how can we address it?
All right.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Madaki, and here's my question. What's the difference between hacking and cyber terrorism under the Cybercrime Act 2015, and why is the punishment so different? Are WhatsApp chat calls, recording, and screenshots administrable in a Nigerian crime court?
Yes, I'll take the questions from the other side. Sir, our questions are very plenty, but I know you will do justice to them. Some questions are directed to the IGP himself, while some are to the barrister, and some is to our resource person that spoke on suicide.
I just want to thank you very much. I'm Victor Daniel. I'm the National Coordinator of North Central Youth Forum. And my question is, how ready is the Nigerian police force to combine to fight AI? And because now we know AI is a big concern. So how ready is the Nigerian police force to combat AI? So thank you.
Combat AI. Can you maybe make the question clear?
Okay, my question is, how ready is Nigerian police force to combat AI cyber like offense or crime?
Cybercrime committed through the use of AI. Okay.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Ricky. I'm a Rotaract, sir. My question goes to you, sir. One, for those that don't have capacity to the police academy and they are BSCO, this is where the 4-way test comes in. I'm sorry, sir. My second question is this. Is there any initiative to aid young people to achieve joining the force aside being joining from recruits? Thank you, sir.
I like your question, but it's not part of the conversation right now. But I know you have used opportunity to chip in critical questions since Oga is here in person. I'm sure that he will assign somebody to respond to that. I have just one, then with the answers or rest.
Good morning, IGP, expected person here. Michael from Police Day Secondary School, Day Abuja. I have 3 questions. My first question goes to the IGP. First, what is the Nigeria police putting in place to stop blackmailing? If I am, or what am I going to do about blackmailing or when I'm being threatened? to the, what is Nigeria going to do to regulate AI? AI is also helpful, and at the same time, people use it for fraud. What is Nigeria going to do? And does the Security Act 2024 talk about artificial intelligence and how dangerous they can be? And my third question is, how do we prevent people who teach young children cyber fraud? In some areas, they pick small children and teach them cyber fraud. How do we prevent that?
Thank you very much. There's been a lot of questions surrounding cybersecurity and AI, artificial intelligence. I've been told by the organizers to state that we have a panel discussion here very quickly that will be addressing everything related to AI. But for now, sir, you have the floor to respond to the ones you do justice to, while my senior colleague here.
Thank you very much. Beautiful, wonderful questions there. We know that most of the questions, all the questions, believe that they were addressing the IGP himself, and they were expecting responses from the Inspector General of Police. Yes, he's got lieutenants here too that will give you tailored responses to your questions too. So it won't be IGP, sir.
Thank you so much. I'll try my best to respond to them quickly. I think the first question that came to me says, in other climes, when people cyberbully, when some people behave online, the police call them. What are we doing in Nigeria? I'm sure you agree with yourself that the world is getting smaller, especially with the use of cyber. The same thing is happening, and the whole world are having the problems of cyber security, cyberbullying, and many other crimes that have to do with the internet. And it is evolving daily. So we are going to call you too. We are going to call those that have committed crimes online. The Nigerian police have the intention of coming up with a symposium to teach everybody the new laws governing activities on internet. Abusing people, insulting people, and a lot of other things you do online could be turned to crimes. Because if you cyberbully, if you abuse people endlessly online, it can come under the issue of cyberbullying. So we are going to handle it. We are coming up symposium to teach people about it. The second question has to do with young people not feeling secure. They feel insecure with police officers. Yes, it is true about it. I have an example I will make. A long time ago, when I was, I think the commander of the Rapid Response Squad, a matter came up to me where the son of a woman police was arrested by police officers because they found him with 2 iPhones. And they put him in his vehicle, and they didn't allow the mother to follow them in their vehicle. When I handled the issue, I remember I asked the police, I say, this woman was angry with you because you didn't carry this woman along. And I asked them, all of you police officers here, will you be confident children with the police? They didn't answer me. That's the question for all of us in the police, and this issue is what we are trying to tackle every day. And one of the things we are doing about it is why you are here today, so that you meet with police officers, you will meet with us, you will meet with our wives as well, for you to know that we are human beings first and foremost, and that we want you to get closer to us. We want you to see police officers as first human beings, and for you to know that we believe in all of you, especially the youths. Anything without you. We are going to fail without you. That is why we are bringing you closer. We want to understand you. The gap between us and you to reduce the gap. We want to understand how you talk. If I pick up your phone to the youths here, I will not be able to read your messages because of how you write now, because of how you send text messages. Instead of I will see you tomorrow night, you write N as your night. I can't read your message, and you will not teach us how to be able to read it because you want to still separate us from you. So we want to learn from you. In the olden days, they say you learn from the elders. Now we want to learn from you. That is why we have brought you here. That is one of the reasons why this thing is set up. We have undertaken trainings among ourselves too, very senior police officers. I think before the end of this month, we are having a symposium for very senior police officers in Imo State. We are going to talk about the youths. We are going to talk about getting closer to the youth, getting to know you. We want you to be safe when you are with the police. The best place to go if you have distress is to go to the police. When you are lost, go to the police. You have information, go to the police. That is what we want to achieve, because we know that the youths are members, important members of the community. The community are the police, and the police are the community. So that is the reason why we have brought you here, so that you see us, you know us, and you know that we are pleading to get to know you better. The other question, how the Nigerian police training their officers to distinguish between legitimate online business and the ones that are not legit. And you also mentioned the use of linking anybody with computer, anybody with phone, with crimes. Yahoo, Yahoo. I will leave the question to the AIG in charge of everything that have to do with internet, cyber. Stand up, let them see you. So he's in charge of cyber, everything cyber. I will leave the question for him to handle. You said families of victims claim that they do not get justice. Nigerians want to see what we are doing about it. We have another section, the CRU, online, that you can report any crimes to, especially that have to do with police officers. If you have come in contact with the police and you are not satisfied with what they do, the CRU are there online for you. Send them messages, they will act on it, and they will give you feedback. And I've been getting wonderful feedback from members of the public for the good job they are doing. Try them out. Don't say police will cover themselves. If you don't try it, you will not know that it's working. If you don't complain to me about what you are not happy about, I will go back home and sleep and think everything is okay. So give me the complaint. That is why I am there. The best way to get across to me, if policemen have done what you don't think they should be doing, is to give me a message on the CRU network. We are going to give you the phone numbers to call and send your messages to. And when policemen do good as well, don't forget to leave messages for me so that I can thank them for the good work they're doing. Because whether we like it or not, I want you to know that Nigeria, as it sits today, is sustained by the activities of the Nigerian police and other security agencies. Daily, members of the Nigerian police force are dying to protect you. About 7 days ago, I lost 10 of my best police officers in Kebbi. 10 police officers died in Kebbi trying to protect all of you here. So just like the president said at the same time, we are not doing bad all the time. We are doing a lot of good. When you see the police on the road, pat them on the back and say, thank you for the good job you are doing as well. You don't agree with that? Emeka said police not protecting those who give information. We are changing. That is in the olden days. If you see something, say something. Pass the message over to us. Walk up into any police station. Ask of the DPO. Give the DPO the information. Or write it and pass it to the DPO. Those days, it's in those days that we give information about those who give us information. And for your information, more people are coming up to the police to give us information. That is why we are recording the successes we are recording. I want to thank every member of the society who have been coming up to give us information. I thank them. We need more. We need more. Olanrewaju, yes, my darling daughter. Because you are the daughter of a policeman, so we adopt any day, anytime. You say the UN standard. You are correct. You are correct. You are correct. Recently, the president approved the recruitment of 50,000 more police to join us. And they have promised that they are going to bring up another number that's going to be regular so that we increase the number of police officers that we have in the country. And at the same time, the president has approved the reconstruction, updating of a lot of our training institutions, and it's about to start any moment from now. Boluwatife went into Yahoo Yahoo. The AIG in charge of cybersecurity is here. They want to know why youth go into Yahoo Yahoo and what are we doing about it. Gracious, if young people develop, yes, if you have anything you have developed, if you have any devices, if you have any app that you have developed, please feel free to walk up to us. We'll listen to you. That one is the simplest thing we can do for you. Walk up to us, write it that you have this software that you think will be beneficial to the Nigerian police and bring it up. I want to let you know the DIG in charge of ICT is here. I'm sure he will be able to tell you the number of people who have been coming up to him. I'm sure any moment from now, we are updating our website. The people who brought it up for us are youths. And we think they did a better job, better than the one we had. And he has approved that any moment from now, the website will come up. And we have many apps developed by youths. The funny thing is, everybody bringing apps to us now are between the ages of 18, 30, 31, 32. So bring up your apps, work more on your devices, bring it up to us, we'll test it out. And if it works out, I assure you we are going to buy it from you and use it. Any reform in place that can be used to manage how information is used. Police is your friend. Yes, we are your friends. We are your friends. You do not have any other choice than to come to us. We are trying our best to do things in a better way. I told you, it is the Nigerian police force that have sustained the country even as it is today. You remember a long time ago when policemen said they were going on strike, the following day, nobody came out anywhere in this country. Although they were punished greatly for that, it still goes back to show the importance of police. There is no local government, there is no area in this country that we do not have police. And we are trying our best to better ourselves. We are doing a lot. We have a lot of officers who think of nothing other than their jobs of protecting lives and property. We are your friends. We want you to see us as such. And then for your information, recently, an airline came up to say that they are going to peg the amount of money all police officers will pay to board their airline anywhere in the country. And at the same time, they are going to allow members of the Nigerian police force, whether retired or state serving to board the airline first. Anytime they are there, they board the airline first. And they are going to tell them, thank you for what you are doing for Nigerians. It goes to show that people are beginning to appreciate what we are doing as the police. We cannot achieve anything without you. We are trying our best. Police officers are dying every day. I want you to note it down. Abdullahi, what are the community safety threats and how can we address it? Cybersecurity will handle it. Victor Daniels, how ready is the Nigerian police to combat AI? Yes, we are not combating AI just like the way you mentioned it. How to manage, how to develop ourselves in AI. We just came back recently from meetings with police all over the world. And it will surprise you to know that even in the UK, when we talked about the issue of AI, they told us that they are having problems with it and they are developing ways of handling it. The Nigerian police have police officers trained in AI, already trained in AI, and they are doing wonderfully well. And for your information, Nigerian police have been using AI for a very, very long time. We have what we have, the analytic. We gather data, we do statistics, so we are able to predict crimes that could happen at any time with the assistance of AI. And at the same time, we are developing ourselves to be better in what we do. So I will leave the stage now for the AIG in charge of our cyber security to tackle the issue of AI, to tackle the issue of everything you are asked concerning cyber.
The Inspector of Police, sir, senior members of the management team, distinguished guests, my name is AIG Akani Ezima. I'm the Director, Nigerian Police Force National Cybercrime Center. I will try to do some justice to some of the questions. There are quite plenty, and obviously they are interwoven. Let's start with this one. Why do you go into Yahoo Yahoo? The answer is very simple. Get rich quick. Peer pressure. Impoverishment. They feel that this is the easiest way to make money. And how does the police combat this? The easiest way to combat this, and which we have been doing, is awareness. Counseling. Is awareness. Counseling. We need to talk to our youths, and the police have been doing so. Talk to them, let them know the dangers of entering into cyber fraud, the possibility that they may go to jail and truncate a promising life, and the fact that it's not good for the reputation and image of our country. People with laptop wearing dreadlocks and carrying laptops, how do we differentiate them? The Inspector General of Police and the police management have said repeatedly that we should not profile the youths. The fact that a young man is carrying a laptop and holds a laptop, wears dreadlock does not make him a criminal. In fact, a lot of our youngsters who are into tech, the tech bros, they dress in a peculiar way. They have dreadlocks and all that, wear clocks, carry their water bottles. Does that make them criminals? No, they are not. So the IG is doing its best to discourage profiling, because doing this means you are profiling somebody. Habits for cyber awareness, there are plenty. We need to be cyber resilient. We need to practice cyber hygiene. Because some of the offenses, cybercrime offenses are like phishing. This is where you are being tricked to give your passwords and all that online. Ransomware, you click a link and the malware enters your system. The business email compromise. And then the issue of AI. AI has come to stay. We have to live with that. Before they will say, okay, when the crime is being, when you are talking to your person, maybe you get bad English, you get spelling mistakes. They find out that with AI now, those things are no longer there. So how do you now differentiate? Let me give you a typical example now. You get a phone call from an unknown number. Please, when you pick, don't speak. Wait, let the person talk first. Let it be somebody that you know. Because that person may be a fraudster who is going to your voice. They will clone it and use it to do something that may cost you a lot. So we also have to pay attention to our personal habits for cyber awareness. We have to limit personal details. You know, with these people that will call you, oh, send money to me, or they will chat you, I have an accident, or could you please quickly help me and send so and so money, I'll pay. You understand? I'm sure a lot of us have come across it. Please, when you get such requests, don't oblige them. Call the person to another channel, because you may likely be dealing with a fraudster. So once we have some of this awareness, it will go a long way to help us. You also have to stop, check, and confirm before clicking or before paying. It's not every link you see online or on your WhatsApp that you click. The bottom line is you have to be cyber aware. You have to be cyber hygienic. Nobody is going to come and help you or teach you how to handle your phone. You have to pick all these tips and ensure that you don't run into problem online. What's the difference between hacking and cyber security? They're intertwined. There are two types of hackers: the ethical hacker, black hats. There's VAPT, vulnerability assessment and penetration testing, is done by ethical hackers. They test your firewall, they test your banking systems, discover vulnerabilities, and help you to repair it. The same thing, at the same time, the black hats also will test these your vulnerabilities, look for loopholes, and take your money. Some financial institutions are suffering losses because of hacking. So hacking can be used for good, and hacking can be used for bad. So those that have hacking skills, we can only train them and appeal to them to use it for the good of the country instead of using it for criminal activities. Also, with the permission of the Inspector General of Police, because he's very much interested in awareness, October is the Cyber Security Awareness Month. And I know that the IG has something in the pipeline for us that will create a forum for the Nigerian police to let members of the public know some of the things that they need to be aware of, to teach them cyber hygiene, to teach them cyber resilience, to let them understand the little crimes that are being committed online. And like I said earlier, AI has come to stay. So we have to deal with it. And the only way you can deal with it is by staying safe, by not allowing yourself to fall a victim. I tried to take this as a small lecture because the questions were many and varied, but I hope I've been able to address some of the issues that were raised. Thank you very much, IG, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. And to the new found IG's daughter, I take responsibility. Your search was correct. I have gone to also do another search. Of course, United Nations says 400 to 450, but what we have in Nigeria now is 600 to 650. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, before I hand over to the barrister, I've been told that somebody has been seated there in the audience scenes and is from the presidency that I need to recognize. Please, I'd like to recognize, I think we have moved her now forward. This person is representing the SSA to the President on Special Need and Equal Opportunity. She is from the presidency. Please, a round of applause for Honorable Odinaka Lillian. Thank you very much for joining us. Now, the barrister to address your questions.
So a lot of the questions posed to me has already been answered by the distinguished IGP and the AIG National Cybercrime Center. However, these ones are directed to me in the legal aspect of this. One of the questions is how to get the Cybercrimes Prohibition and Prevention Act 215 as amended 2024 You can get it from the court's environment, particularly the court that has jurisdiction to try cybercrime offenses, being the Federal High Court. If you go to the Federal Court, you can buy a copy of it. Then someone else asked, how is code encrypted messages end to end as far as you are not committing a crime? Once you commit a crime online, the police have the powers to approach court of competent jurisdiction, get an order, and have access to it, and you'll be called to answer for your offense. The police, I promise you, have the sophisticated tools to access such messages. Someone else asked, safeguard of human rights for persons who pass information, that is genuine information, because you must have to distinguish between someone who communicates genuine information and someone who parades information that are false. Of course, the Constitution is a safeguard. Section 39 of the Constitution protects your right to freedom of expression. However, once you cross the Rubicon and go into circulating information that are inflammatory or derogatory without verifying the source of those information, the law also provides for the punishment for such activities, and that is what we call cybercrime or defamation under the criminal code. So it is important to know that there is still safeguard for human rights, for your right to expression. However, you must exercise that right within the Constitution, because where your right to expression ends is where another person's right to privacy and other person's right to dignity ends. It begins. So you are not expected in the expression of your own right to infringe on the right of another person. Thank you very much. Then, what is the difference between hacking and cyber terrorism? Well, I feel there is no much similarity between them to start with. Cyber terrorism, like I said, is committing acts that are related to terrorism online, in that you say something online that could promote act of terrorism. And what is act of terrorism? That will refer us to Terrorism Act, Section 2 and 3 of the Terrorism Act, that provides for offenses that are acts of terrorism, which includes inciting a people to levy war against the country, to attack a government official, or to kidnap or do any acts that will cause unrest in the country. There are so many offenses stated. There are so many offenses defined under Section 2 and 3 of the Terrorism Act. So any of those acts, if you promote it on your internet platform, for instance, you come to your Facebook or Instagram platform and you write something encouraging a part of the country to do something that will rattle the country, by that you are committing acts of terrorism without knowing. So that is it. Then why hacking is a different ballgame? There are so many acts that could amount to to hacking, tampering with critical structures, willful misdirection of electricity. There are so many acts under the cybercrime that one can reference as hacking. Then someone asks, how ready is Nigerian force to combat AI abuse? I believe that also has been answered. So I won't belabor my answering that question again. About in fact, it is important that cases of cybercrime are reported, because if not, the country become a jungle, where if you get someone publishes something against you and you are peeved by the publication, people will take laws into their hands. So it is even good that these things are regulated in our laws, and the police is actually enforcing the law. So when someone writes something against you, if there is a blackmail against you, any form of blackmail, whether they are extorting money from you or they are just putting something out there to tarnish your image in any way, in any form, to write a petition, investigated, the veracity otherwise of the information will be investigated. And once it is found to be false, the person will be prosecuted and sentenced accordingly. Someone asks, what is Nigeria going to do about AI? Does the Act regulate? Does the 2015 Act, amended 2024, regulate AI? The answer is no. I think the National Assembly will actually look into that. There is no specific mention of AI in our cybercrime prohibition, preventions, etc. acts. However, there are things that you could do with AI that can conveniently come under cybercrime by simplicity, not necessarily AI, regulating AI, but there are conducts that you will do. There are some videos that you will create and publish. There are some things you will do on the internet that can conveniently be punished under the Cybercrime Prevention and Prohibition Act 2015, amended 2024. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So the lady asked of a platform to report suicide or to find information of suicide. That's the platform I shared. Nigeria Suicide Prevention Hotline. That's the most relevant for now. So if you meet me, I will still be with you. Then the second question is where to get professional help. Just like Nigeria is under policed, our mental health professionals are grossly inadequate. We have one mental health professional to 50,000 Nigerians. And many of you don't want to go into mental health. You want to go and become influencers, TikTok, actors, and everything. I'm begging some of you to have interest in mental health because you help somebody. Okay. Like they say, we are healed to heal others. But one thing we can do is that maybe thank God Power is here. We'll speak with Power and see if we can get some of this information into your schools. Maybe we can speak with them, have some of the mental health clubs, information clubs, so that you're able to have these peer groups on mental health, education on mental health in your schools and in areas that you are, and push it further because it should not only end in this room. And we thank the IGP for this opportunity to put mental health in the activities that we are doing. IG, sir, I have a testimony on the Nigerian police force. You said we should share, so let me share before I leave. When I was 16, a family friend was supposed to drop me off at school. They bought a drink for me, but they drugged it. And they stopped on the way and pretended that the car was bad. I was feeling drowsy. I knew I had been drugged. I was thinking about what to do, and it was an isolated road. From nowhere, a police car stopped. They asked what the problem was. And the people said the battery was bad. And the police came and said, let's help you start it. And they started the car. And they drove behind us till they took me home. When I got home, I slept for 24 hours. So I've told that story before on social media, and I want to say it here today in front of all the police officers. I say thank you to whoever those officers were that saved me that day. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And on this note, I would like to say thank you to all the men of the force that has been doing so much to secure the lives of we, the average Nigerians. Thank you. We cannot thank you enough.
I think we can give ourselves a round of applause. Thank you very much. The AIG in charge of the Nigerian Police Force Cybercrime Center says he has a very brief message for our young people who are gathered here today.
The IGP, sir, with your kind permission. When they talked about the issue of blackmail, something crossed my mind, which I feel I need to let our youth know. There's a rising crime now that is called sextortion. There are a lot of sick people out there who groom kids for sexual pleasure. And they will get you to send your nudes, get you to do video calls, and they will record you. We are seeing so many cases of this. And they will now use these images to blackmail you. Pay money, and a lot of youngsters have died. They have committed suicide because of this thing. So please, I want to appeal to our youths. Please and please, I beg you in the name of God and whatever you believe in, don't share your nude pictures with anybody. Don't do nude video calls with anybody so that you don't end up being blackmailed. Because we have seen cases where children die, even adults commit suicide because of the effects of their privacy being put online. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. At this point, please, for everybody in this hall, I want us all to stand. Please, can we all stand as we invite our own very dear IGP himself to come and do this very, sir, you are young now. We are young people. Please, sir, come up and do our kind of thing with us. Please, you just come and take selfie with us so that we all shout, Happy International Youth Day 2026. Yes. Media, hold this one dear to your heart. Sorry, sir. I've been asked that you have something in mind to do, but it looks like I am even jumping faster. Okay, sir. So please, sir, let us have the selfie first of all. No, everybody is standing where they are, sir. So you will now turn your own camera to your camera now. As youngins, that's how we do. So you turn it to yourself. Yes. Oh, you'll be privileged to start with me. You can take one. Yes, thank you. Just in case, let it be on record. I'm on Oga's phone. Yes. Sir, the last time I heard you will go far. Sir, so now you will turn. You will turn backwards. Yes, you switch it to video, most likely. Are we together on this? Everybody cannot show. Don't worry, Oga will pan through. So we'll pan through. After the count of 3, we'll say, Happy International Youth Day 2026. Can we do it together? 1, 2, go. Happy International Youth Day 2026. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And God bless the Nigerian Police Force. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So this one is one you will post on your page. You put our hashtag when you post it on your page. Your media people will do the rest instead. No, they will not teach you. They will just do the rest. Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Sir. I'd like to bring a young individual to come and take this path. I'd like to bring a student, one of the globally traveled, acclaimed SS2 students, one of those that are doing Nigerian proud. Please, I'd like to invite Nufi Jessica Messi to come briefly for the spoken word. Nufi Jessica Messi. Nufi Jessica Messi, please come and give these very quick spoken words before Oga attends to 1 or 2 other meetings.
International Youth Day 2026. Happy Youth Day. The strength of a nation lies in the passion of the youth. Today we celebrate the energy, courage, creativity, and resilience of every young person striving to make a difference. Your voice matters, your ideas matter, and your future is bright. Happy International Youth Day to all the youth worldwide, both national and international. Attention Europe, Asia, and Africa. Public announcement. The Nigerian Police Force presents International Youth Day 2026. National Youth Leadership and Security Initiative. Promoting responsible citizenship, peaceful democratic participation, and positive youth development. That's an objective is to empower Nigerian youth towards becoming responsible, innovative, peaceful, and productive stakeholders in national development. Are you in Nigeria or outside Nigeria? The Inspector General of Police invite you to the celebration of International Youth Day 2026.
Nor are we tools for someone else's ambitions. We are not a generation to be used and forgotten. We are dreamers with purpose, voices with power, and minds that are capable of changing Nigeria. We want peace. We want education. We want innovation and a future we can believe in. So why should I carry violence when I can carry a vision? Why should I become a political thug when I can become a leader? And so if we are the builders and leaders of tomorrow, then let us build a Nigeria that is worth inheriting. They may offer us money for destruction, but our dreams are worth more than their temporary rewards. I refuse to sell my future for someone else's political victory. I choose education over ignorance. I choose purpose over pressure. I choose innovation over destruction. And I choose to lead with a difference because when I talk as a youth, I know I'm being heard. And I choose security over violence. So when history remembers our generation, let it not say we were used. Let us say we stood. Let us say we fought. We chose humility. We chose respect, dignity, and we rose. We're young minds with purpose. We are minds that are ready to change the world regardless of backgrounds. And so, others, my mates once asked me questions. They said, what if it doesn't work? What if they suppress our voices to crumble us down to the earth because of stereotypes, religious beliefs? I said, no. We are minds that can build. We are innovators and not just. Future is greater than political thuggery. Your future is greater than violence. And together we can build a Nigeria worth much more. Together we can lead with a difference. Together our voices can make a change. And together we bring obstacles standing in Nigeria's way, because our voices together is much more than those obstacles. It is much more than people's words, beliefs. Your belief matters, your voice matters, and you can make a change wherever it is that you go. You're never too small to dream, nor are you ever too small to. And so in this digital age, I would think before I click. I will verify before I share, because one careless post can create violence. It can bring misunderstanding, misfortune, and it can bring about loss of lives. But one responsible voice, just that one responsible voice, can bring truth, can bring responsibility, can bring love among our nation. One nation, one dream, one future. We are youths with purpose. We are youths with innovative minds. And so, let's not look at the other sides whereby we think Yahoo is the easiest way out. Because we can use those skills to build apps. And so, what if they say no? That I can't, I'm a lady, is the questions that some of the females ask in this generation. They say that tech is meant for men, but I tell you no, because you are greater than other people's beliefs. Your voice matters. Your dream matters. We have female police officers here. People that love us. People that are always willing to hear us out. We have a father that cares. So why should we be afraid when we are the leaders of tomorrow? So let us build a Nigeria worth inheriting, because we are the youths that will build a better and a greater Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Please hold on. Please hold on. IGP, sir, it will interest you to know that she's a SS2 student, I'm correct, SS3 student, and she has been under the weather. As a matter of fact, the medical team here had to attend to her to give her injection, I guess, to be able to deliver this, because she has prepared for it. Please, a round of applause for her once more. And you have the privilege to go and take a picture with the IG himself. Please help me usher her to take a picture with the IG, please. Yes, please. Let it be on record. Please, can you come? Sir, please, just a minute also. So she was informed that you'll be present here today, and she didn't sleep through the night. She came up and put this together just to present to you. Please open it and let Oga have it. Please, a round of applause A round of applause for her. She did it through the night, overnight. She didn't sleep just to present this to you. Thank you. Indeed, young Nigerians are talented. Thank you. And sir, another presentation just for you after her picture. Sorry, man, let her. Okay. Yes, the next presentation, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Sir, you were whispering something to her ear, but since I didn't bring something to present, can I present myself to you, sir? Adopt me, sir. Yes, sir. No, I will go far, yes, but sir, if I'm adopting you as my father now, sir. Yeah, no, yes, I'm adopting you as my father now, sir. So please, henceforth, address me as one of the adopted children of the IG. Thank you very much. Distinguished guests, gentlemen and ladies, we are grateful for your time. Before we call it a wrap, there's one last session and one last thing we are supposed to do before we call it a wrap. Just give me a minute. Let me do that. Please, I was told that the band is here. Can you give us just 1 minute to show your presence again? The police band. Give us 1 minute to show that you are here. Thank you. Thank you very much. I've been told that we'll take one very quick picture. All of our special guests are invited to come up now. Let's take this picture before we continue. Please, all of our special guests. While we'll do that, please, I'd like to invite a development journalist. Please, can we have this picture here now, please? Thank you. Please, all our special guests, our senior officers, please, we can join this picture now, please. Senior officers, please, let's join this picture with the IG, please. I'd like to invite a development journalist and a social impact advocate to take up the microphone from here. Lois Tofumi. Please, a round of applause for her as she takes over from here.
I want to say cheese. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Please, let's have our seats. We still have a bit of time. We have 2 more things to do and we'll be done. Please permit me to call on one speaker and I'll be back and we'll do a panel session, very short, and we'll be done for today. You promise that you will not go. If you promise, let me see your hand. Do you promise? Thank you. I can see one hand there. Is there another hand? Thank you so much. Okay, so I'll be calling on Ambassador Adeniran Michael Timothy. He is the DG, International Forum for Peace and Diplomacy. Please, let's put our hands together for him as he comes up. Please, let's put our hands together for him. Can we make it louder? Students, are you in the building? Can we make it stronger? Thank you so much. Screens, his presentation should be up. Thank you. Okay, so we'll be doing it together. Please listen while they also take pictures so that we would not take time.
The Inspector General of Police.
Thank you so much. Please, let's settle down. This is going to be short and very informative. Please, let's settle down. We promise not to take your time. Thank you.
The Inspector General of Police, the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, ably represented, the Honorable Minister for Blue Economy, honorable represented, the Honorable Minister of Youth Development, honorable represented. Good afternoon. And to our mothers, good afternoon. To the youth in the house, good afternoon. To the youth in the house, good afternoon. That's too low. To the youth in the house, good afternoon. I believe we'll catch up with that. So, thank you for the honor today, sir. And I just had to coin something very, very fast before we leave. Visionary leadership and nation building. So I termed the word police for us to understand the people that have been here with us, the very important role here across Africa. So let me run this quickly. Please, next slide, please. Now, the first word for the acronym of police, peace. Be a generation that choose dialogue over violence, understanding over division, and unity over hatred. Peace is not merely the absence of conflict. It is the presence of justice, respect, and cooperation. For Nigeria to really work as we want, for Nigerian police to be perfectly working as we all want, we must understand that the first word, peace, is the responsibility of everyone. Either you're a police officer or you're a citizen, you must understand this peace is yours. Please, next slide, please. So the next one, opportunity. Every young person in Nigeria, even if you're in the police force, one thing we need to scale up in life is opportunity. Create and embrace opportunity that empower young people to become productive citizens. A nation that invests in its youth, invests in its future. IGP, sir, thank you so much for all you've been doing. Personally, I myself have been across 38 African countries, and I would say this is the first of its kind. The police body in Africa, most times, they don't really concern about what the youth do, but they are the first point of contact to the youth, and I must appreciate you for that. Something like this is not to joke with. Thank you so much, sir. The next one, please, which is L, the word in police, leadership. Leadership is not about age or position. It is about responsibility, integrity, and courage to do what is right, even when nobody is. As young people, you might think, what is your interest in leadership? But let me tell you something. From being a class monitor to even being a class rep in school, leadership starts from there. Most time you notice in church, those of us, church, mosques, we have a couple of people that look over us. They are way more older than us. Signs of leadership. You don't have to have all the ranks. You don't have to be old to be a leader. It starts from you telling somebody, what you did yesterday is wrong. What you posted on Instagram yesterday is wrong. Thank you so much. Next slide, please. And this to our officers as well. Our nation needs young people who will not only compromise for temporary gains. Integrity build trust, and trust build nation. Nigeria is a very peculiar nation, and we're one of the most populated nations in Africa and even in the world. So for us to really put our nation, you see, most times you hear people say Nigerians classifying the whole and they put it as Nigerians. So as a Nigerian, you must take it very, very simple. It should be our watchword. I know it's not easy in the world we are today. We want to buy a car, we want to buy a house, we want to live fancy life. But this word should be in our heart always, and so help us God. Which is C, community. For any nation to stand, for any nation to grow, the America that we see today, you see people wear American clothes, they hang it on their car. I am an American, I love America. It starts with community. You're on the road today, you see something that is not supposed to be there, but you felt, why should I? Or you see something that is going wrong in the community and you just feel, why should I? Please, back to the community. So community, you must carry the Nigerian flag with your heart, with all dedication. You must love this nation for you to really see Nigerian attain the high public servant, or you're a citizen. That must be your first watchword. And the last one, please. The last one, and thank God the IG has done something of this nature, and it is a very good step towards progress. Empowered young people are powerful agents of peace and development. Let us equip our youth with education, skills, entrepreneurship, and opportunity to participate in national development. Many of us, there's a young man who is a security officer, he's a gateman, and he keeps talking to me all the time. I'll tell him, oh, see you later. See, and one day I just gave him the opportunity. What do you want to say? And he says, sir, I have an NCE. I know security work, I'm trying, but I want to do something. And I asked him, what do you want to do? He said, I want to apply for the army. I told him, I work in diplomacy, I don't really do army, but I could help. And he gave me a certificate, and last year, I was recruited into the Nigerian army. Just a little show of kindness. And now, given 20 years, he grows. He might even put my kids into the army someday if they want to be. So those of us holding serious position, either in police, governance, or whatsoever, we must understand that empowerment is the key to building our nation. And please, before I go, let me take this last one. Youth in the house, let me speak to the youth. Please, can you rise up? There's this song I want us to sing together. It is more like a declaration. Please, can you rise up, youth? Are we tired already? The youth in the house. DJ, I believe we know that song. Young people, let's sing this song together. Is our DJ available? 1 minute, please. This song is very important, so when you go home, you get to remind yourself that for Nigeria to actually grow, for Nigeria to change, for you as a young police officer to come to the front tomorrow, your dedication to the nation is very, very important. So if you know this song, please sing along. Are we singing? Please take it again. Yes. Please sing along, young people. That's it, yeah. Do we know the song? Yeah, sing along. No, go on. You are strong. Are we singing along? You are wise. You are worth beyond 1,000 reasons why. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Please, a round of applause again, ladies and gentlemen. Very quickly, we'll move into the panel session. And to set the tone for the panel session would be the amiable boss, AIG Uche Henry, is the AIG training and development. A round of applause for him as he comes forward, ladies and gentlemen. Please, you can do better for the AIG.
The Inspector General of Police, other distinguished senior officers here present. So I want to thank you for this opportunity and privilege to set the ball rolling for this panel section. Distinguished colleagues and the youths of our country, if you check the population of the world, you see that we have over 8 billion people living on planet Earth. In Africa, we have over 1.6 billion people in Africa. Then in Nigeria, we have over 230 million people. The population of the youths that we have in Nigeria, we have between 60 to 70% of our youths that form greater part of our population. Youths of Nigeria. It means that you can actually define what happens in this country. You can actually change the narrative in Africa. You can actually change the narrative in Nigeria. Whatever we do can actually reflect in the building of our nation. Actually define the realities of our time. And the realities of our time is what is going to be discussed by the panel section. Distinguished participants, if you check your ChatGPT, I know the discussion all over have been how AI works, whether the police can fight AI. Yes, the police can fight AI. The police can fight cybercrime. the police have the capability of delivering with regards to internet fraud. If you ask your ChatGPT now and your Gemini, the crime that Nigerian youths are known for, what will you see? You can check it. You see Yahoo, Yahoo. That's what we're going to see there. The question is, can you, the first clip? The question is, does that really define our realities about cybercrime and about how we live our life? The first clip. Can we just look at this clip, watch this clip, just 1 minute clip? At the end, let's check whether it can actually define our reality. It is a story of a woman that was scammed by a youth, 92 years old Elizabeth. Volume. But the question again is, does this define the realities of our youths? Does this define the way we live our lives as youths of Nigeria? We have the most all over the world in Nigeria. How do we carry on our activities? If the video, if the audio is not coming out, can we go to the next? So, as I said before, we have our youth as the best. Now, since this cannot play, can we go to the
No one else but my love, who love I've never seen nor spoken to. Now I don't have a choice of whom I'll listen to. On November the 2nd, 2021, I pled guilty to 2 federal felonies.
Well, let's check the next slide. It's very short about this of a 26 years old Nigerian who was able to scam our people. Yes. Does this picture define the realities we have on ground? I'm asking the youth, does this define the realities of what we have on ground? The answer is what? The answer is what? So the answer is yes. These are Nigerian youths, and these are the activities of our youths that we have in Nigeria. Spending hours sleeping and being awake 24 hours to click on malicious sites, to send Trojans, to send malwares, to send worms, and to have access, unauthorized access to systems. And of course, this is what we look as the situation today. Some Nigerian youths are known for DDoS attack. The Inspector General of Police talked about the man in the middle attack, which is a prominence that goes on today in our society. Because if you talk about man in the middle, he stays without being noticed. It's like a worm, a Trojan we call worm that replicates itself in a system activities. I want to thank the Inspector General of Police for showing interest in our youths, for trying to change the narrative of how we do things. We have sextortion, we have romance, ransomware attack, identity theft. They are all cybercrime trends that will be discussed by the panel section. Let's go to the next slide. Please don't engage yourself in activities shown in this picture. Can this thing play? And I'll ask again. I need that little girl's clip to play, please. So, no. That little girl can be regarded as Gen A, right? We have the Gen Z.
What this I should buy for you? A laptop. Laptop? Laptop? What do you want to use it for? Yahoo. Yahoo? You want to use that for? You want to start doing Yahoo? So who now taught you? Amara.
This is a Gen A. You agree with me that this Gen A we grow to be what? Youth tomorrow. So what happens when we have these kind of people growing up, believing that the only way to live life, the only way to succeed, and the only way to survive is by becoming a Yahoo girl. The little girl that spoke said that there are a lot of, that technology is not only for the men, right? Technology is equally for the women. Okay, the question is, so Yahoo is not only for the men, Yahoo is equally for the women. Okay, so this character must be watched because they are going to grow to be our youth. The next slide, quickly. I just have 2 minutes. So does that define our realities today? That is the thing, what is going to be discussed today. Can we listen to this quickly?
I know I'll go back home. If I go back home, they will suffer me for that. You want to go to school? Yes. You want to make a life better? Yes. What do you want to become? My boy. Just, I think.
So you can see our generation, our teeming youth, and those that are still coming up, trying to, what they're saying is that this is what they want to become in future. Now, please, your discretion is allowed in the next stage because we really want to showcase how our youth behave now. Can you showcase the next slide, please, quickly? So this happened in the street of Nigeria, okay? And look at our youths, what they are doing.
What kind of rubbish? Somebody is swimming there. Somebody is swimming there. And they are sitting on a pole. For crying out loud. What kind of rubbish is this? What have we turned into for crying out loud? For crying out just to make what are we turning into in this part? Look at Yeti bread in because you want to make.
All right, distinguished participants, I just said our discretion, we'll have to express our discretion here. So, does this define our reality? Now, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this is what goes on in Nigeria today. These are some of the activities of some of our youth. These are expected to be the leaders of tomorrow. So the General Police are free to call all of us, to sensitize us, to talk to us, that you are the leaders of tomorrow. If this defines our realities, what is actually going to define our future tomorrow? So on this note, I want to thank you, the Inspector General of Police, for this privilege and opportunity to talk. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the session.
Please, you can do better for AIG. Uche Henry is currently the chairman Interpol African Heads of Cybercrime Units, seeing 54 countries in Africa. So he's speaking from a place of experience. So a round of applause for him, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you very much, sir, for setting the tone for the panel session that I'll be having shortly. But in a short while, we have a police child that really wants to motivate. She wants to speak from her heart to the youngsters who are here present. Thank you. The young girl is here while we prepare for the panel session. She'll be coming up. Her name is Amina Sadiq. She is a police child and she is a student of SS1. Amina, can you mount the podium? A round of applause for her to encourage her as she comes forward. Thank you.
Distinguished guests, respected parents, and my fellow young people. My name is Amina Sadiq, and today I'm in as a young person to advise you. I am a young person. I know how we behave. I know what is in our mind, and I know what we feel.
Firstly, let's talk about education. Education is very important. Education gives us confidence. Education gives us power. At least with education, I have the confidence to stand before you. I know it's not easy. Education is something. Some people don't have the chance to be educated, but at least with education, many more of us here can testify that they have become something in life. But we young people don't value education. We don't respect our teachers in school. We don't do what we are supposed to do in schools. We act somehow. We act the way we are not supposed to do. We behave carelessly. Let's talk about discipline. Discipline is very important. Okay. Dream. Many of us here have dream. We have dream, but we don't know how to pursue our talents. We have skills, but we are afraid to. But with discipline, at least, we can wake up to think every day that we are supposed to do something. Many of us here are into Yahoo. I know, but we are not supposed to do. We have talent, but we don't know how.
Yeah, my name is Lois Tofomi. I'm a journalist and a social impact advocate, and I will be moderating this session. Today, we're having a conversation about something that touches almost every part of our lives. The way we learn, the way we communicate, the way we do business, the way we participate in elections and civil life, and increasingly the way we understand what is happening around us. Technology has given you incredibly opportunities, but it has also created new risks, right? And today's conversation, not about to frighten young people, but to make us on technology really means and to help us to use it better. So it's about people the knowledge to use technology safely and responsibly. Before I introduce my panelists, I want us to imagine one person. Please, let's listen. Who can give us a name there? Give us one name. What? I'll use Ada. Ada is 3 years old, graduated. Like most of us, her phone is practically the extension of our lives. There's some of us that if our phones are sick, of us, exactly. If our phones are not with us, if our phones are missing, it will be as if something is wrong somewhere, isn't it? I can't hear your voice, isn't it? Thank you. So she buys something online, applies for a job online, communicates through social media. She runs a fashion business through Instagram. One day, Ada receives a message that appears to be from her bank. Your account has been flagged. Click this link to verify your account. She was tired and almost clicked. The next morning, Ada sees a political story online. It has thousands of shares. It claims that a politician has aided allegedly in planning elections. Ada about to share that one too. After that week, she received another invitation from a virtual job interview. Something about recruiter's face, something about the recruiter's face voice didn't feel. She was looking, and she later discovered that it was AI generated. Afterwards, she woke up that morning to discover that she had locked out of her account. How many of us have been locked out of our WhatsApp before? So maybe you have been hacked before. I see a hand there. Thank you. Now, Ada is asking herself, in a country moving this quickly into a digital future, how do I stay safe, stay informed, take technology, and still build meaningful? And I think that this question is not just Ada's question, questions that are in our hearts as well. And to help us answer these questions, we have incredible groups of panelists joining us today. Please join me welcome Mr. Victor Tahumba. He is the Executive Director, Raising New Voice Initiative, and the Chairperson, Way for Nigeria. Please let's put our hands together for him as he comes up. Mr. Victor. Okay, he's coming up. Yes, you can come that way. Fine. Please put your hands together for him as he comes up. Thank you, sir. So, our next panelist is Mrs. Rejoice Teddy. She's going to be talking on misinformation. She's a misinformation expert, misinformation and research expert. Please let's put our hands together for her as she comes up. Miss Rejoice Teddy, I can see you. Thank you. Please put our hands together for this beautiful lady coming up. You are not clapping. Thank you. Okay, so we have Mrs. Sunday, Mrs. Ruth Sunday Kai. She's a cyber security analyst. Please put your hands together as she comes up as well. I can't see you coming. Miss Sunday Ruth Kai. Where are you? Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, and we have Mrs. Antonia Lawal. She's a communications manager, building. Please hands together her as she comes up. And we have Mr. Oji Onukwe. He's a police officer. He's here to join the panelists, to add his voice as a police officer on this panel. Mr. Oji, are you here? Mr. Oji, okay, yes, he's coming up. Thank you so much. I'll be giving you the mic. I think we don't need one chair. Thank you so much for waiting till this time. So we'll be asking you a few questions so that we don't take our time. From this story, what is the first thing that you thought about when you heard this story? What came to mind when you heard this story? So I'll start with you, Mr. Victor, based on what you do, misinformation, disinformation, and all of that.
All right, thank you. And of course, good afternoon, everyone. And so first thing that actually came to my mind, like the kind of error, the very little that people fall prey to business scams. You get a message that seems to be from your bank, and it says that your account has been flagged and you are locked out, so you have to follow this link. First thing is that the mistake other people do is they will panic because that is where their money is. And so sometimes without even waiting to check, to verify, they quickly click in order to save their account. Second, to the point of where you read a particular news item, and so one other reasons why we have like a whole lot of disinformation, again, is that when you come across a news article that appeals to your bias or that you so much believe that it should be true, you might not have that patience to say you want to verify to actually kind of investigate. You might just go ahead and then share. And then, so for some other apps, like when it comes to like LinkedIn, WhatsApp, people think that they are so impenetrable to being, to this thing also being hacked. So at the time, usually where people do not take proper care, conscious effort. So that was the first thing in my mind, that if this has happened, not to a, just like somebody in a story, maybe it happened to a real person, you might find out that more people fall prey to those kind of than we might even want to admit generally.
Thank you so much. Ms. Rejoice.
Okay, hello to my fellow panelists and good day all. So before I proceed, because of the young people we have in the hall, I'd like to establish a difference between misinformation and disinformation. So when we talk about misinformation, we're basically talking about narratives or information that is shared with the intent to, without the intent to cause harm. And then when we're talking about disinformation, we're referring to the opposite, where someone shares information, whatever information on social media, whatever medium, with the intent to cause harm. Now, from one of the examples in Ada's story, I could deduce that she was nearly lured by an AI-generated image or link
for a job interview.
For a job interview. Now, AI has come to implicate a lot of things, and with how realistic all these kinds of narratives have become, it is quite impossible. So now imagine someone who is disinforming you, who comes out intentionally trying to deceive you, or giving an instance with someone who is a scammer, who now has the opportunity to use AI to create fake job opportunities, not just by sharing a link, but by attaching some sort of video to make what they are sharing look credible. And I'll give an instance with some of the things we've worked over time as fact checkers on things that are related to these kinds of scams. And one thing we've observed is that people who are popular or who have a face that would seem to mark credibility are used for these kinds of schemes. And I'll give an instance again with Dangote, who was used to share a job, claiming that it was an investment scheme that was going to give Nigerians millions in return. So you invest like 400,000 naira, and what you get in return is like double the amount, in fact, triple the amount within a short period of time. Now, to a layman who doesn't see any video of Dangote that obviously looks realistic, it would seem genuine, right? And ingenuine, and the person would not go ahead to click such a link. But because that face was used, we trace multiple users who followed that link just because a person's face that they believe to be Dangote was used to advertise that job. And then when they proceeded, it appeared to be a phishing scam link where their information was gotten and they got scammed. So I'll pause here and give to the other speakers.
Thank you so much. I was about to say it's important that you stop so we can hear other people. Thank you. Go ahead.
All right, thank you so much for the opportunity to be here. For my fellow panelists, it's nice meeting all of you. As someone who has been fighting cyber criminals and cyber crime, I would say one of the major things that I saw in that story is the fact that Ada is informed, because we could see that she didn't fall victim to all the tactics and the techniques that were put together by the cyber criminals. And this brought me back to an understanding that you can only go ahead of a cyber criminal if you understand how they operate and you have that kind of thinking that they also have. So for Ada, she knew what genuine links were, and she didn't click the one that was baiting. That was a bait. So one other thing that I saw was the fact that a lot of people believe that cyber criminals only target people that are wealthy, big organizations, or they target people that are celebrities, right? But the truth about this is the fact that as someone who uses the internet to either connect with people, do business, you are already a target of cyber criminal activities. So we can talk about other things we can
Did you
do
hear
later.
that? She said, the fact that you use social media, you're already a target. So it's important that you listen. If you have not been listening, it's time to listen. And I want us to also write our questions down, because after this session, we would take your questions. Thank you. Over to you, Antonia.
All right, thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. And I think I would like to continue from where my fellow speaker stopped, where she said, as long as you are using the internet, you're a target. You don't necessarily have to be a celebrity or not. And to buttress that, I would like to share my personal story. I've fallen victim of all of these things we've been discussing. So recently, I got tired of my job and I wanted to scale up. I was just saying in my mind that, God, if I can just get a job with the UN, I'll be so fulfilled. Fortunately and unfortunately, a few weeks after, I received an email from one of the UN agencies, which I will not be mentioning, that I've gotten a job and all I have to do is to take a course and all of those. I started taking the course. Then it got to the point of getting my certificate to prepare for interview and what have you. And I was asked to pay some amount of money in dollars. That was when it occurred to me that no, if UN will give me a job, they should not collect the little money I have.
Exactly.
And that was when I spoke up. I had to speak up. I had to tell people around me that I got this email from the UN. I've started taking the course, and all of this. And then, fortunately, while I was facing the same thing, some people were facing the same thing. I got to LinkedIn, then I started seeing people ranting about receiving the same email. In fact, some people had even gone ahead to pay the money, and I'd be like, God, thank you for not even giving me such amount of money. I would have, fallen victim to the call. So for Ada, who is our case study this afternoon, Ada, I wish I was Ada in that case. The first thing I should have done is to look at the link that was sent, to be sure that it was a phishing link or not. But I wasn't smart at that time. And as if that wasn't enough, just this year, I speak Pidgin English very well. I speak Pidgin English. And then, this Black African Week was to be celebrated, and they needed people that would, translate their materials into Pidgin English. And then they sent another mail. And, I just sat down and thought about my past experience. Probably if it hadn't happened to me, I would have gone ahead, to do this. So what I would just say, in addition to what my fellow speakers have said, we need, the IG said, and I can't remember the name of the other person who said that we need to be, what did they call it now? Is it hygienic? We need cyber hygienic. Yes, it's very, very important. So I would like to stop here. Thank you.
Okay, so what comes to mind in this scenario is cyber hygiene, and basically, as you said, awareness. If we as individuals are aware of proper cyber hygienes, we wouldn't easily fall to these scammers. Now, this is a very common thing. I'm glad that most of us on this panel have had one experience or two about it. So it's a prevalent thing. Personally, what I would advise Ada to do, the first thing she should do is to share the information. Whatever she got, she should talk to someone. Because most times when we receive these phishing links, these emails, or even calls, the cyber criminals make it in a way where you would be put in a haste. They will make it a matter of urgency. So it's usually advisable to take a break, tell someone why the other person would see it in a plain manner, because you are already biased, because probably they would say your account is in danger or something else. So you are already seeing it in your own perspective, and you wouldn't be able to make an informed decision. So it's always best to share this kind of things with a close person or a friend or a partner. They will be able to give a clear and informed advice to you.
Thank you so much. How many of us have received messages from our bank that they say, oh, your bank has been flagged, or pay some amount of money, or send me your PIN? How many of us have received that kind of message? Nobody here? Okay, I can see one hand. I see another one. Okay, I see another one. So I wanted to ask you, I just want you to echo from the audience. Did you send your PIN or something? Oh, you didn't. Okay, thank you for that response. Okay, so I'll start with you with my first question. We're just going to be having two questions, one more question, and then your final notes, okay? And we'll be done with this session. So for you, sir, from the perspective of the Nigerian police force, what are some of the emerging cybercrime threats that young Nigerians need to be particularly aware of today?
Oh, so the emerging threats or cybercrime threats.
Yeah.
First of all, the first one I'll pick is social engineering. So it might not explicitly stated in the Cybercrime Act that social engineering, that's the word as it is, social engineering, stated in the act, but it's actually a crime. Now, most people who are victims of social engineering do not really know. Your experience with that email, yeah, probably there was a link, but that wasn't the main crime. There wasn't that phishing link. It was, they used social engineering on you. They kept on leading you on. And at the end, their end game is that fee, that amount of money that you were asked to pay. That was their target. So they social engineered you and kept on leading you to make you think that, okay, this is a valid job. You filled forms, you did
Can we say social engineering is like manipulation?
It's basically manipulation.
Okay.
It's basically manipulation. Okay, social engineering is, I think I have to explain it, right? It's,
Because we have students here.
yeah. Let me see how to break it down in simple terms. It's a way or method in which you make someone divulge sensitive information or give you probably money or do something which the person normally won't do, but you deceive them into doing it. For instance, a vivid example most of us know is the WhatsApp hack. Of course, nobody hacks your WhatsApp. You hack yourself because they would call you, oh, there's an office meeting about to go on, a Zoom meeting, we need your PIN. That act, that little act is social engineering on its own. They've led you on to believe that they are members of your team in the office and they've sent you a code, and you, believing that to be true, go ahead and do that. So they've social engineered you to believe they are from the actual source at work.
Thank you so much. You spoke about social engineering. So they manipulate you and ask you questions step by step. And by so doing, you are giving them those responses. Till they ask you for your PIN. And that's when you now say, oh, it's like this person is about to hack my social media account. Thank you so much for that. Please put your hands together for him. Yeah, I want to know that you're here. Thank you. So, Antonia, your question. What does a truly safe, inclusive, and responsible digital environment look like for young Nigerians?
All right, thank you so much for that question. I would say that a truly safe and responsible
environment
for young people looks like one where if I'm searching for information, let's say on how to cook, what I should say